Welcome to 2023. I'm Sunny D.
And I'm Captain J.
And we're the Pot Smoking Moms.
Damn, it's 2023.
It is. I know we have got to start remembering to write 23.
I did.
I know. I saw that. But here we are, man. We're so glad you're joining us today. If you like our show, please do us a solid rate, subscribe, share, be friends with us on all social media. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are offering our videos for everyone now. So definitely go over to our YouTube channel and peep that. Our handle, because you can have handles on YouTube now, is at Pot Smoking Moms. And if you need to find any of that information, potsmokingmoms.com is the website. Just type that into your fancy, probably your cell phone. And
could be a fancy cell phone.
Right. And hit us up. We appreciate you.
I'm ready to smoke. How about you?
Yeah. I got something loaded. Captain Jay's got something loaded. If you have to pack something in order to catch up and smoke with us real quick, we'll give you a little intro music so you can get your stuff ready. You got something, what you got smoking there?
Well, I packed myself a bowl of something called Donnie Burger. This is something new I'm trying from Fluence.
Donnie Burger?
Donnie Burger, that's what it's called.
Oh.
It made me think of Wahlberg.
I know that. Yeah, his name is Donnie and his last name is Wahlberg. So I am smoking Sunset Sherbet from Rise. Actually, they had some pretty good deals, so I went up and snatched.
So you went crazy.
I did.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Just got real smoky in here. This shit's coming in at 28%. I think that's what it was. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
1.
Oh my God. Don't you love it when you have a brand new strain to smoke and a clean new bong to smoke?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, the bong you gave me for Christmas, a little bubbler, is so clutch. It's perfect. And I found that little peg, because part of like smoking from the bong that I don't like is like sometimes you kind of use a lot of the weed, you know?
Yeah, because you suck in the weed through the little hole and
there's
makes your bong dirty.
The little bead that you gave me that you put inside your bowl is perfect, and it keeps the bong cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, it doesn't get as dirty as fast. You're not losing a lot of weed going through the little hole. I've been using mine a lot too. It's convenient. It's like a little glass filter that just goes right into the little hole there. Leaves a little space where smoke still get in. It's kind of a pain when you're cashing out the bowl sometimes, but
right, because you don't want to
be careful.
It, right?
Yeah, not to lose it.
Right. This is our season finale. We're, you guys, we're not gone for too long. We usually come back
4 or 5 weeks max.
Yeah, we come back. So this time we're planning on returning February 15th. 2023, reminding everybody of the year.
We want to do it as a live show again,
right? So instead of just we're trying to switch things up, keep you guys interested.
And we had so much fun doing the last live show.
Yeah, honestly, the last show was really fun. It does take a lot of little pre-production. Uncle Jesse hooks it up with some of his magic. But we decided to do our season premiere live, so we'll be doing it a live stream. We'll remind you through social media posts and whatnot. We have an an email list too if you want to join the
Mm-hmm.
email list. We don't email that much. We should.
No, we don't.
We
We
don't
should.
email that much. But we will also be doing reminders that way. I don't know if there's many of you that like don't have social media and listen to the podcast, but if that's the case and you want to get reminded for stuff, let us know. We'll be doing it live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook again. And you guys will be involved. We'll do some games. We'll do some rankings, right? I think the rankings are good.
Yeah,
I
that
think they
was
like
fun.
that.
Well, we'll see what we're gonna do. It's fun just having everybody be a part of it, being able to participate in the show, and we'll still do our segments and news nugs and I love you, Miami. Maybe just shorten the story some.
Yeah.
And
And listen, we love your feedback. So if there's anything you really like and want us to do more of, or if there's something you don't think is great, we will accept the constructive
yes,
feedback.
please
We
let us
appreciate
know.
it. Let us know. I mean, we try to do as much of the work for you as possible. So your feedback is, highly appreciated. We also want to thank
Our patrons.
our patrons. Listen, you give us the courage, the motivation, the inspiration to keep going.
And help fund it,
and you
because
help
we
me.
do have expenses that
Yeah.
go into it. We got to pay for our website, this streaming platform, whatchamacallit, Adobe, all the different little things that, the editing
Oh man, all
platform.
kinds of stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So
A website, all that stuff. But so patrons, thank you so much. You make it possible. And if you want to become a patron, please go to our website, potsmokymoms.com. We have the link to our Patreon page there. Our Discord is hot. We pop in there and do live sessions every once in a while. We always check in on each other, and we talk about a lot of stuff on the Discord. So that's one of the awesome perks you get as one of our patrons.
yeah, you guys have input on the show. They give us feedback. They know about stuff before we announce it. It's a lot. But if you can't contribute to our Patreon, that's fine. Just helping us out by sharing our content, making sure you subscribe to our show, sign up on our emails, buy from our partners, anything like that can be very helpful as well. Go to potsmokymoms.com and make sure you follow us, all platforms. Give us a review and we will send you some stickers. Let us know.
Yeah, or if you just want some stickers, let us know.
Your faces are cracking me up.
Come
And
on.
you should be watching this on our YouTube channel if you want to see these faces.
I'm trying to use YouTube techniques, you guys. Okay, like we're trying to beef up our YouTube channel and our YouTube presence. So like I have to usually try to wear makeup now and look super well put together, even though I'm feeling very Tom Selleck today with this.
Hey, at least you have makeup on.
Hey man,
I never really wear makeup, so
I mean, you and me are pretty low maintenance, but we're naturally really cute anyway, so we don't need all the makeup. But trying to put on the pizzazz for the YouTubers.
yeah,
Come on over to trying to step it up. Actually, New Year's. I mean, listen, I got a vision for 2023, Captain J, and
yeah, we gotta talk about it.
I'm talking about I need to look good. I need to feel good. I need to be confident. I need to be more accepting of the cheese, because I know that like a lot of times like I want to do more content and I want to be more on social media. I have not been doing anything on social media lately because I just feel so cheesy all the time. But it's like you have to. Dude,
You could
have
be
to
yourself.
cheesy.
You don't have to be cheesy. You could be yourself. People like you for you.
I'm kind of cheesy though.
But you put the extra cheese on top.
I think so. I feel like in order to, because if not, I come off very, hey guys, this is what we're doing today. That's not, nobody wants to hear me, just kind of push through. I have to put in the energy. And sometimes that means just being a little extra cheesy, just how it goes.
Okay. So we're gonna see some more cheese. Got it.
Yeah. Well, try, just putting it out there. But also like a fitness girl, I need to get stronger. I mean, I don't want to obsess with like the scale, right? I want to be more, accepting of myself, but I definitely want to like feel stronger. So that's one of my 20. I actually started a whole extra chat in the Discord.
I saw.
Yeah. Because I just feel like I don't want to get too serious about it because
Mhm.
I don't want to be like
Obsessing.
obsessing because I can get a little bit obsessive.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like I gotta get into something.
You just got to start moving. You just got to either go out for walking more or doing more movement in the house, whether it's a routine you do every day, different routines, switch it up. Just move your body. You just got to move.
I'll work up to going out in the world, but right now I feel like I need to move. I just need to do it in the house. I gotta do something because I've gotten into it and I've gotten real fit before. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get back there now.
It takes
Like
commitment.
mom stuff, okay, cool. Mom stuff, great. We're done. Now we gotta I gotta be strong there for my kids and stuff.
And once you start exercising again, it really helps with your mental health.
I think so.
And it
Yeah.
makes you feel better overall, not just physically, but also mentally.
Yeah. We're doing it, girl.
Let's do it. So, did you hear the news about Andrew Tate getting arrested?
Yes, I've been on it. Was hoping you would say something about it because karma in full circle.
That was like instant karma, like instant.
I didn't know who this douche canoe was until all of this started popping off.
Because of this? You've never heard of him before this?
I had never heard of him before this.
No way.
No, I never.
Okay, I've heard about him, but I didn't know to the extent of how bad he was. I just thought he was just a misogynist. I just heard some horrible, really misogynistic things that he said, and clips of like things he said on.
Can I bring up one because this really is foreshadowing to what ended up happening?
Yeah, exactly. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
I started looking through stuff, and because everybody was like, "Oh, this guy is terrible," and he is, in fact, he's vile. Mm-hmm. So then I found one where he said, if you have a girlfriend, like if a girl is in a relationship with a guy, mm-hmm. and she decides to do OnlyFans, since her body belongs to him because she is his,
that money's his.
That half of that he gets a cut of that money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And people were like, what? Mm-hmm. So if that's
the first video I saw of him. That's the first video I saw of him on TikTok.
The human trafficking
and I was like,
vibes.
Bro, this guy's a dick. And then like I saw a few other clips and I was like, oh my God. And I heard that he was like banned, I think, on Twitter and everything. I was like, good, this guy's an asshole.
The other dick face let him come back on.
And then at the Halloween party, one of my husband's friends from high school was like, when he found out that we had a podcast, he's like, oh, you should get on Ramble or some kind of app or whatever. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, it's like a free speech app. And he opened it up to show me. He's like, yeah, Andrew Tate's in here. I was like, oh, say less. I don't need I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't want to be a part of that. Right. Oh, what did I was like, no.
Yeah.
If you like Andrew Tate, that tells me something about you.
We're not that content guy.
And then I saw this story that he got arrested, and it all came because he decided to troll a 19-year-old young lady.
Environmentalist, right?
Yes.
Greta Thunberg?
Yes. He was trolling her, posting about all his cars that he has, right? And then
about what his emissions and like all the pollution,
exactly,
his fucking nonsense macho bullshit.
And then he posted again like a video ranting about it, and in the video, like apparently a pizza box.
Yeah, because she trolled him with a small dick energy email address.
Yes, so she
then why did he even decide to fucking continue?
Because he's an idiot. But this is what's so beautiful is because that pizza box tipped off the authorities on his location.
And he was caught for, oh my God, would you believe it?
Sex trafficking.
Human trafficking.
He's been sex trafficking women by doing like...
well, if he thinks they're pieces of property,
but he like purposely was seeking out women to start relationships with them, have them fall in love with him, and then start working on his campsite. And he has all those women are like his girlfriends that he has.
Oh boy. So that's why that was the whole thing.
When I discovered that's what he was being arrested for, I was like, holy shit, this guy is more than just this guy's a fucking sex trafficker.
But then you see, he's flashing all this money and all this shit. How does this guy he has a lot of followers and whatnot, but
And
like,
oh
how
my
does this
God,
guy
and they
make all
love
that money? A lot of times I see these people and I'm like, give me the details, bro. How do these people make all this money? I can't even imagine.
it's just beautiful when karma happens that quickly
Yeah,
and it actually something good happens out
I
of it.
know. Bye.
Bye. Congratulations.
I hope you get it.
All because you wanted to troll a young lady.
Well, you know what?
Hopefully it
Justice
sticks and he stays in
served.
jail for a very long time because apparently they've tried arresting him before and they weren't able to have like enough evidence to. And apparently he moved to Romania because the like
He's been evading other places. He's been
no,
evading the
because
authorities.
he purposely was looking for a country that's not as aggressive with their like sexual assault laws and stuff. Yes. I know he's an awful human being.
Well, I hope
I hope
awful
he
things
rots in jail.
happen for him in 2023.
So yeah,
We
anything
can.
going on? I'm going to Disney tomorrow.
You're tomorrow?
Yeah, I was on my way to when we went to to the party on Friday or what day was New Year's Eve? Saturday. I was just looking for hotels to see, and I found one for $100 a night
You're
in
like,
Disney.
bye.
In Disney,
Oh,
I was
nice.
like,
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it 2 nights. Doop.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, man. Disney. I hope we get to go this year at some point. But that's cool. I got food poisoning before the New Year's party. Everybody, all the local people are gonna be like, I talk very highly about Flanagan's. You know, I love Flanagan's. I was talking so much greatness of Flanagan's, and we went to have dinner. We went to the zoo. We went to have dinner, and I felt awful right after we left eating. And then it was like, and I get food poisoning. Like, I hate to say it, I get food poisoning kind of often. I hate it. And I'm like, oh,
are you
like,
washing your
why?
hands?
I am. And I'm like, I just sum it up to I'm a fat ass and I just I have to like build boundaries with food. I just eat. But no, I don't know. Who knows? I need to actually one of our friends was like, you should take probiotics. And I used to. And I think like this 40-year-old right here needs to take some probiotics.
We should all be taking probiotics.
I know, right?
I heard that helps with your gut health and it's
It
also good with
is.
health losing weight.
Gut health is very important. We should definitely all get on some probiotics for 2023. Help with your bowels. You know, hey, this is the kind of stuff we have to be thinking about. Okay, guys.
Not all of our listeners are old, okay?
No, but
some of them are younger, but they're like getting to their 30s or in their 30s.
Yeah.
So they're close.
You know, hey, at any age, gut health
is important.
What
I need is a skin routine. Somebody teach me.
Oh yeah, skin routine. I mean, look, you could look up even if you do just moisturizing, just washing your face and moisturizing. As long as you do that, which is hard to just do that every day. Do that every day, and then if you could do that every day, then you start there's like hyaluronic acid and people got some crazy freaking facial
5-step routines and shit.
Yeah, vitamins.
They have a little refrigerator in their bathroom with all their like skincare products.
Your $100 eye cream, because eye cream is the fanciest of all the creams, and you have to use it in very small, you know, little tiny dabs, and like with a little tiny poops of your like finger pads. Do you use that gua sha on your face?
No, dude. I just wash my face. I don't do anything. I don't have any. Somebody has to teach me.
Well, I mean, TikTok. You've learned lots on TikTok. Bless you.
Thank you.
You know what though?
It's time for our first segment.
For one of your favorite segments. News Nugs, where we get high and read the news to you.
New York opens its first legal recreational marijuana dispensary.
Hallelujahs.
So the first legal dispensary for recreational marijuana in New York rung up its first sales on Thursday, opening up what is expected to be one of the country's most lucrative markets for cannabis, underscored by the dozens of unauthorized shops that have operated in the open for
They're like,
years.
we're sick of all of you guys just selling weed all handy dandy
We
all
need
over
to
the
make
place.
our money,
we
too.
need to figure this out.
The widely anticipated opening of the first state-sanctioned dispensary, which is operated by the nonprofit Housing Works, paves the way for a string of openings expected in the coming months in New York. The state legalized recreational marijuana in March of 2021.
A line of hundreds snaked around the block, many giddy with excitement over the opening. The whiff of marijuana filled the air.
Oh.
Just painting a picture here for you guys. Lino Pastrana was among those waiting his turn after the store opened to the public at 4:20 Thursday afternoon.
How appropriate.
This is historical. It's really important for us who buy and smoke weed because we can buy quality instead of buying random weed that you don't know what it's mixed with, Pastrana said. That's something he risked. He said, you can buy weed anywhere in New York. Anything, he said, saying that he expects to buy his merchandise from legal dispensaries from now on.
That's exactly the hope of New York marijuana regulators, who say that a supervised industry will help ensure the cannabis users are buying safe products. That, too, was a hope of Housing Works officials, who said that having a marijuana business will help fund its programs. We're absolutely thrilled to be the first and hopefully setting a model that other folks will have to follow, said Charles King, the chief executive officer of Housing Works, a minority-controlled social service agency that serves people with HIV and AIDS, as well as those who are homeless and formerly incarcerated. Wow, this is awesome. This is the first place to open and do sales. The Lower Manhattan store is the first of 36 recently licensed dispensaries to open, with an additional 139 licenses yet to be issued by the state Office of Cannabis Management and 900 applicants still awaiting word. Among the first round of licensees were 8 nonprofits that included Housing Works.
The cannabis storefront abuts the sprawling urban campus of New York's university, whose students could provide a ready supply of customers. This location is a perfect location. We're between the West Village, the East Village, said King said at a news conference Thursday morning. Tourists can come by here easily, so we think we're going to ring up a lot of sales. Facing a cluster of cameras, Chris Alexander, the inaugural executive director of the state cannabis office, made the first purchase Thursday morning. Watermelon flavored gummies and a tin of marijuana flowers.
Wow.
It's
was
been
the
a
first purchase.
It was a first purchase
by an official,
nice.
by
It's
a,
like,
by
a little bit of
somebody
both.
that's in office.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's been a lot of work that's come to get us to this point, Alexander said. We do have a lot more work to do, a lot more stores to open.
New York City Council member Carlina Rivera also bought gummies. Look at that. Everybody's getting high in New York. Woohoo! And she said no longer needs to travel out of state for her legal cannabis. She predicted that more openings will be a boon to the state and city economy. We are the financial center of the world, the greatest city on earth, and I think people will now come here to enjoy all types of things, she said. They were already enjoying weed in New York.
Of things.
New York joined nearly 24 other states in the U.S. to legalize recreational marijuana, but unlike many other states, New York has reserved its first round of retail licensees for nonprofits, as well as applicants with marijuana convictions and their relatives, an acknowledgement of the inequities produced by the country's war on drugs. Way to go, New York.
Yes. They should be the blueprint. It also planned a $200 million public-private fund to aid social equity businesses, which the law defined as those owned by women or minorities, struggling farmers, disabled veterans, and people from communities that endured heavy policing. We have seen firsthand the ravages of the war on drugs, on people who use drugs, particularly the most marginalized people, low-income people, King said. King said that his nonprofit is hiring people who have been criminalized because of marijuana. Housing Works pursued getting a license because they wanted to have the opportunity to ameliorate some of the harsh circumstances implicated in both the criminalization of cannabis as well as other drugs, he said. Today marks a major milestone in our efforts to create the most equitable cannabis industry in the nation, said the New York City Mayor Eric Adams in a statement. The opening of the first legal dispensary in our state right here in New York City is more than just promising step for the budding industry.
Budding industry.
It represents a new chapter for those most harmed by the failed policies of the past.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay. Adams won his seat on a tough on crime platform that rejected progressive activists' calls to defund the police. He promised to strike the right balance between fighting crime and ending racial injustice in policing. As mayor, he has proposed boosting police and jail spending. Governor Kathy Hochul called the first legal sale of adult use cannabis a historic milestone in the New York's cannabis industry. Housing Works officials said that the dispensary had already received more than 2,000 reservations from people wanting to make purchases. Adriana Miles, who works in the cannabis industry, didn't want to miss out on this historic day. I just wanted to be out here to show support, she said. This is the one to be at, the first one. Wow, congratulations, New York.
Yeah.
And way to do it. Like, that's awesome. That all their first licensees are non-profits. That's great.
That is really good. That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. All right, so our next story. Snoop Dogg unveils a Death Row Cannabis. Bro, this is long overdue.
So he has not had a cannabis brand until now.
I don't know. Is that real?
Right? I don't know. I mean, I had heard he has his hands in a lot of things right now.
Maybe I don't think he's had his own brand, but maybe he has had his own like strains or something, or like products.
Oh, you know, probably he might have had like special, like, I don't know. Yeah, right.
He has to have done something before, because if this is the first time that he's getting into doing anything like in the cannabis industry,
right? So this is his own line of cannabis, period.
Through Death Row. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's Death Row Cannabis, because you know he took over Death Row earlier. I believe that was earlier this year.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg announced on December 29th that Death Row Records, the legendary West Coast hip-hop platform featuring artists like Dr. Dre, Tupac Shakur, Nate Dogg, The Dog Pound, and so on, is entering the cannabis game with Death Row Cannabis. What kind of strains can we expect? Death Row Cannabis will initially launch a trove of OG strains, including Runts, Strawberry Gary, and Tropicana cookies. The first drop arrives in a limited edition commemorative metallic bags featuring the iconic hooded prisoner figure seated in an electric chair on the front. The image found on the Death Row Records logo if you look closely. Specifically designed for the Death Row Cannabis drop, the new rendering of the prisoner was designed for the launch of the cannabis brand. The main difference between the new and old images is that the new one has one hand broken free and is smoking a fat doobie. To do this drop and considering competition, Snoop Dogg zeroed in on one of the top cultivators around. So they announced it just with like a little animated like video on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We're following them now, the Death Row Cannabis.
Okay.
Are we able to play that clip? Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
It's really short. And then they're showing the new.
I mean, they got everything, like tinctures, like a whole line of stuff too, huh?
We'll
like
see. I guess coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to smoke right now. Who's growing Death Row Cannabis? The man who curates Death Row Cannabis is the one and only Mighty AK, hand-selected by Snoop Dogg himself.
Mm-hmm. AK
is best known for his role alongside former partner Wizard Trees in sprouting, selecting, and cultivating strains such as RS11, aka Rainbow Sherbet 11, Studio 54, and Shirazi from breeder Dio Farms. High Times Vice President of Content John Capetta profiled the high-grade cannabis grown by Wizard Trees last August. AK is also behind the
IYKYK?
IYKYK?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Right. I thought that was an acronym for something. I thought that was an acronym for something, but my brain was like trying to figure it out.
You know.
brand SMKRS Smokers. Is that how you
SMKRS.
Anyway, yeah. And he is also the esteemed vice president of cultivation for the TRP LLC, the company that owns a majority of the cookie stores across the nation, including their facilities in Florida. AK has also developed a reputation for his knack for cultivating fire OG strains. Death Row Cannabis will be available at select Cookies California stores throughout California and Brentwood, San Bernardino, and San Diego on Monday, January 2nd, and other locations and more states to follow.
So are they going to come to Cookies in Florida?
Yeah, I know. I wonder. And if they do, they'll probably sell out real fast.
I still haven't gone to Cookies.
We haven't gone. Follow Death Row Records and Death Row Cannabis on Instagram for more details. So this is a drop. Everything's now considered a drop. But yeah, so it's they're gonna offer this drop of products at cookie stores and such.
That's where it's starting. I'm sure they're gonna start there and probably expand where it's offered.
Yeah.
So Snoop Dogg and Death Row, under Snoop's recent leadership after he acquired the label, Death Row Records is making a lucrative dive into cannabis. Snoop Dogg, under Death Row Records, praised the herb from the get-go, most obviously on albums like Dr. Dre's The Chronic and The Chronic 2001, or nearly any Snoop Dogg record.
Yeah.
However,
come on, guys, you living under a rock?
Like we all know, Snoop loves weed.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a clip.
Oh my god!
After this story,
real, you guys.
This shows how much everybody knows Snoop loves weed. However, Snoop's acquisition does not necessarily include all familiar albums. At its peak, Death Row Records artists seemed larger than life and defined an era including the West Coast G-Funk sound that was often imitated by but not duplicated. For over 30 years, through countless chart-topping hits and landmark artists, Death Row Records has stood as one of the music industry's most iconic and culturally significant platforms. I used to have Death Row's Greatest Hits. It was like a double disc CD. That shit was bomb. That was like my favorite album to listen to all the time because it had all their best hits.
Yeah. I love compilations. I actually had a recent over on our New Year's party. We had talked about soundtracks. Like, you know, growing up, we didn't have a lot of coin to be like Napster was not a thing when we were younger. So we had to go out and buy a whole ass CDs, and we were like kids, like,
or you were
in that
money. Remember that Columbia House or whatever?
Right. Columbia House, BMG Music. Or like we had a friend that would
go to Sam Goody or Specs.
We had a friend that would like say, "What do you want? I'm gonna go in there and steal it for you, and then you just give me the money." So, you know, that was whatever. You would end up having to like spend all your money on one CD. So soundtracks for movies were like a really good way to go.
Was my first CD was Machiavelli. My first CD.
Tupac was your thing, girl.
Oh yeah, I was obsessed with Tupac. So of course I love Death Row.
This is the clip you're talking about.
This is the clip. I thought it was funny.
It's so funny because it's so true to Snoop. And what's this guy's name?
Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen, bro. That guy goes off for New Year's.
Bro,
Bro,
this guy. Okay, let's just roll with
Silver Fox.
What's his name? Anderson
Cooper,
right?
Mm-hmm. I love when you come on my show and you bring some of the good herb with you.
I'm sure you love it.
Because he's already sauced up here.
Up front about your
like, where's this going?
Smoking, and I want to play a game with you called
Have you face. Look at him with his little arm crossed.
Hi there. Okay, I'm gonna run through various locations,
and
I want to know if you have gotten high in them. Okay,
come on.
All right. Snoop,
I like that.
Have you gotten high? Yeah, I do too. Have you gotten high on a yacht?
That's given.
I have got high there.
I like how he sings it every time
I know
he
the answer to
answers.
this one because you talked about it on Watch What Happens Live. Have you gotten high at the White House?
And you do know that. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Have you gotten high at Martha Stewart's house? What is
Martha's
happening? Just
And
let me
the
handle this.
answer would be Y-E-S.
I bet they're high.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Did you get Martha high? Did you get Martha
Like we know
high?
Snoop's high, but
This is
I think these two are high.
I
They
would
took
have
a
to
smoke
say
break.
if
Oh, they're drunk.
secondhand smoke counts, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, Snoop, have you gotten high at a bar mitzvah?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you what that answer
Nice.
was going to be. Yes, yes,
He's
yes.
talking.
I knew it. Because you were performing. Some rich guy paid you to
Yes.
perform at his kid's bar mitzvah.
Yes.
And you were like, I am going to
And
get
he told
so
me to
high
do whatever
before I
you
go-"
want to do.
Whatever you want to
Do
do.
whatever you want to do.
Have you
I would tell
gotten
Snoop to do
high
whatever.
at an NFL football game?
Come on, everybody knows
Everybody
this.
saw that.
It's a whole goddamn
Everybody saw
meme.
that.
Yes, yes, yes. And it was thrown out.
Yes, you did. Okay. Have you gotten high at an
Jumps up and
award
down.
show?
It's probably also very
An award
cold.
show? Oh, please.
How many?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, you have.
I like how he's
Okay. Have you gotten high at the
holding
Oscars,
Anderson
Snoop?
Cooper for coughing.
Yeah, at the Oscars.
I've never been to the Oscars, but when I do go,
Okay.
you better know that I will.
I know that I will. For sure.
I know. Count on
That's
it,
on my
baby.
hit
you
list. You just
gotten
put that on
high?
my hit list, Andy.
Have you gotten high at a late night talk show?
Oh, come on.
Of course. I know. He's gotten me
Yeah,
high.
even Anderson
Letterman,
Cooper's like,
Leno,
"You got high on mine."
Kimmel.
It's like, no,
Have you
no,
gotten
no.
high on CNN?
No, but in front of the CNN building on Sunset Boulevard, I have.
That counts.
Have, Snoop, have you gotten high at the DMV?
Oh my god.
Oh.
That would be a no. That would be a no-no.
No, I'm kidding.
Let me ask you this, and then I'm going to wrap
That would
out
be a
of this
no-no.
game.
I like
Have
he's
you
like
gotten
still
high
keeping it.
at a brisk?
Anderson Cooper losing it.
Have you?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yo! No. Wow.
Yes.
That's
Bro,
incredible.
if he's
This
been
is
at a
the
breast,
dog
he's
of all dogs
he
we talking
smoked
about,
there.
Andy.
Wow. Wow. Snoop, I love you for a million reasons, but your answers in that game. Do you want to, can you remind us who was in office when you got high at the White House? Because it is CNN and I need to ask these questions.
Yeah, it was a president that got the same complexion I got.
All right. Okay. I think I know what you're talking
That's the
about.
clue.
That's
And
the
they
clue.
had chicken
Oh
wings
my
and
God.
greens on the menu that night.
All right. All right. Well, Snoop Dogg, I love you so much. I can't wait
I
to
will
see you
vote for
again
Snoop
to
to be my president.
high five you for this brilliant performance tonight. The Go Big show debuts next week. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
I hope
Snoop.
it's a great New Year for you.
Go Big Show. Is that
Hey,
Snoop?
man.
I guess he has a new show coming out called Go Big.
Oh.
Go Big Show.
Snoop.
They didn't talk about the Death Row thing. But
We'll just
yeah,
have to smoke it.
we'll
find
see.
out.
Hopefully it comes to Florida. If not, when we go somewhere this year, hopefully.
I hope we
We'll be able
get
to
to go
find it.
somewhere this year. like this next news story.
Yes, hopefully we're coming here this year, which is a Colorado psychedelics
Biddy, bibby, bibby, bibby.
decriminalization takes effect. So psychedelics, including psilocybin, are now officially decriminalized in Colorado. Yay! Where
Still got it.
where voters decided last month to end criminal penalties for possessing the drugs. Colorado Governor Jared Polis issued a proclamation on Tuesday declaring that Proposition 122, also known as the Natural Medicine Health Act, had passed muster with the voters in last month's election. Coloradans Coloradans voted
Coloradans.
last November and participated in our democracy, Polis said in a statement from the governor's office, officially validating the results of the citizens and referred initiatives is the next formal step in our work to follow the will of the voters and implement these voter-approved measures. In his proclamation, Polis noticed that Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold had certified on December 12th. The proposition was approved by a majority of the votes cast. The ballot measure received more than 53% of the vote in the election, garnering the approval of 1.3 million voters on November 8th.
The Natural Medicine Health Act creates a state-regulated therapeutic system for adults to access natural psychedelic medicines, such as psilocybin mushrooms, dimethyltryptamine, DMT, ibogaine, and mescaline not derived from peyote. The measure decriminalizes the possession, cultivation, and sharing of the naturally occurring psychedelic drugs and establishes a system for controlled distribution by licensed professionals in a therapeutic setting. Psychedelics will be available under the guidance of a licensed and supervised facilitator at designated healing centers and healthcare facilities, such as hospice centers. The medicines are prohibited from leaving the facilities, and no retail sales are allowed in any form. Proposition 122 puts the well-being of patients and communities first, removing harsh criminal penalties for personal possession and employing a multi-phase implementation process that will allow time to develop an appropriate safety and regulatory structure. Josh Capel, who co-authored the proposition and led the campaign for the successful ballot measure, said in a statement on Tuesday. Under Colorado law, ballot measures approved by the voters do not go into effect immediately. The state constitution requires the governor to issue a proclamation declaring the majority vote for the proposition no later than 30 days after the state canvasses the election results.
So basically, it's legal to possess, but you can't like if you have it, you won't get in trouble, but you can't be sharing it or selling it, and it's only supposed to be used in like a facility
in a hospital setting.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to like start like retreats maybe where people, I don't know what kind of facility it needs to be. But psilocybin and mental health, psychedelics such as psilocybin are receiving renewed interest in the potential of the drugs to treat a wide range of mental health conditions, including depression, anxiety, and substance abuse disorders. The Food and Drug Administration has designated psilocybin as a breakthrough therapy, but has not approved the use of the drug. Recently, the New England Journal of Medicine released a new study showing that psilocybin can quickly and significantly reduce symptoms of treatment-resistant depression. Prior research from the nation's top medical research universities, including John Hopkins University, the University of California, San Francisco School of Medicine, and New York University, have shown positive patient outcomes for depression and anxiety. Additionally, the Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA, has started offering psychedelics to patients as part of clinical trials. With the Natural Medicine Health Act now officially Colorado state law, the governor has until January 31st, 2023 to appoint 15 members to a new Natural Medicine Advisory Board, which will advise the state's Department of Regulatory Agencies on implementing the measure. The board's first recommendations are due by September 30th. Recommendations on facilitator training program for the medical use of psilocybin mandated by the measure are due on January 1st, 2023, which that's passed.
Yeah.
Regulated access to psilocybin should become available from authorized therapists by late 2024. So still
working on it.
Still got a year before
Buffering.
they'll be actually administering it.
Program
it's
buffering.
Not legal and decriminalized officially, but damn it, that's a long time.
I mean, I'm sure they don't have all of these things fleshed out before like they vote on them and stuff. So
yeah, I know, but
crossroads as they get there. Capel said that with the proclamation from Polis, implementation of Proposition 122 can now begin. Our goals include creating an accessible and balanced facilitator training system, an effective equity program, a first of its kind ESG screen, and safe access to natural psychedelic therapies, Capel said. In the meantime, adults in Colorado can begin to have more open and honest conversations about these medicines with their doctors. Adults who can benefit from these substances will finally be able to engage in psychedelic therapies without fear of arrest and prosecution. And that's great. I feel like doctors should make you comfortable enough for you to share everything with them. And honestly, if you ever share information with your doctor and they react in a way that you don't like you should be able to just change doctors. But at least now you don't have to fear
like
being prosecuted or someone.
older doctors are still less inclined to be
Yeah, they're still stuck in their
accepting of
ways.
cannabis or psychedelics as treatment, but a lot more doctors are now seeing the benefits. I mean, all these studies, all these different places are all coming with similar results, the same results. So
Right. Hey, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, now's the time to do it. At Pot Smoking Moms is our handle on YouTube. Potsmokingmoms.com is our website, so you can find it there too. But why you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you could see our beautiful faces. Here's a
or my
segment.
really squinty eyes.
Here's a segment y'all love so well.
I love you, Miami!
All right. So our Florida story. Florida Medical Board clears doctor and medical pot probe. We talked about this, I think it was earlier this year, about this doctor that was got in trouble by the state for not properly doing the screenings. So a state medical board has cleared a doctor who ordered medical marijuana for 2 undercover investigators posing as patients, finding the Florida Department of Health failed to prove wrongdoing. The Department of Health sought to strip physician Joseph Dorn of his medical license for 5 years, permanently ban him from ordering medical marijuana, and impose a $10,000 fine. Damn. Administrative law judge W. David Watkins twice found that Dorn had complied with state law and recommended that the health department drop the charges against the 69-year-old doctor.
Ow.
State health officials instead asked the Florida Board of Medicine to impose sanctions on the doctor, who is affiliated with the Medical Marijuana Treatment Clinics of Florida, by approving numerous exceptions to Watkins' rulings, which were recommended orders under administrative law. But at a December 2nd meeting, the Board of Medicine rejected each of the agency's requests and dismissed the case.
The proceedings against the Tallahassee area doctor, who was one of the first physicians in Florida to become eligible and to order medical marijuana for patients, have been closely watched in the state's medical cannabis community. I do feel a little vindicated, but then on the other hand, I've suffered professionally, Dorn told the news service of Florida in a phone interview.
Yeah, for real.
The physician said that with his career at stake, he had a lot of sleepless nights in the 5 years since the health department launched its probe. At my age, I could have retired by now, and I probably would have retired if it weren't for this case, but I was determined not to because it only impacts me. It impacts all of MMTC. It impacts every physician, Dorn said. Ryan Andrews, an attorney who represents Dorn, said the Department of Health's actions have hurt Dr. Dorn tremendously, and the physician intends to seek attorney fees and other damages.
Yeah. Wow. Basically, they ruined Dorn's reputation and that of his business, Andrews told the news service. The proposed penalties against Dorn, who has practiced in Florida for more than 3 decades, stemmed from a 2019 complaint alleging that the physician violated state law by failing to conduct physical examinations. Patient OG and patient BD visiting, I guess those are the names of the undercover cops.
Yeah.
OG and BD. During a visit with Dorn in 2018, investigator Ben Lanier, who posed as OG, handed the physician a handwritten medical record saying that he had been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder by the military a decade earlier. Lanier, who was one of the state's witnesses during an October hearing before Watkins, said he told Dorn he had anxiety after serving in Kandahar, Afghanistan, where the doctor's son had served in the military. Lanier testified that he had never served in the military or been to Afghanistan.
Health officials accused Dorn of failing to appropriately vet his patients and follow 2017 law requiring physicians to use certain procedures before determining patients are eligible for medical marijuana, such as deciding that its use would outweigh potential health risks. Addressing the Board of Medicine at the December 2 meeting, Kristen Summers, an attorney for the Department of Health, argued that Dorn should be punished for employing a trick or scheme in the practice of medicine.
What?
That's a fucking stretch.
And those sound like two legit people that needed cannabis. You know,
Right, I was
like,
like, that sounds normal. Yeah, they probably, that sounds like they were doing all of the stuff. He was doing it right. The department has alleged that the MMTC of Florida deliberately structured itself to facilitate the distribution of marijuana to individuals in the state of Florida, regardless of whether the consumer qualified to receive medical marijuana pursuant to the statutory definition, Summers told the board.
While Dorn was accused of failing to perform physical examinations, Andrews argued during the October hearing that Dorn conducted a visual examination of the undercover investigators and that nothing in the law requires a hands-on evaluation. Watkins agreed, finding that observing and meeting a patient and reviewing medical records and patient intake forms constituted a physical examination. Summers, however, urged the board to scrap the judge's interpretation of the law. It is the department's position that looking at a patient is not a physical examination, she argued. We're not looking to see what is inappropriate or inadequate or a complete physical examination. This is a binary issue. But the Board of Medicine, which regulates physicians, adopted Watkins' conclusions of law. Before the dismissal of the charges, Andrews said health officials examined records of more than 24 of Dorn's patients and found no evidence that the Tallahassee-based doctor had done anything wrong or violated the statute. Andrews also blasted health officials for creating fake records for the undercover agents.
Yeah, for
real.
Yeah, that was. They could not find one complaint, one issue wrong with any real patient, he told the Board of Medicine. They're asking you to indict his entire practice based off of 2 people that came in and lied about conditions. Andrews also argued that a 5-year suspension of Dorn's license would amount to a permanent revocation, as the physician's health has deteriorated in the years since the investigation began. According to Andrews, Dorn patients' load went down significantly after the charges were filed against him. Walmart also told Dorn its pharmacy would not accept prescriptions written there by the physician.
Oh my God.
The 2019 complaint against Dorn was filed on the same day the health department filed a complaint against Gainesville area Dr. Justin Davis, who also was visited by an undercover investigator. An administrative law judge also found Davis did not commit wrongdoing. I have always had my faith in the judgment of the Board of Medicine because these are practicing physicians and they all see it from a physician point of view. And after all that testimony, I totally don't see how they could have reacted any other way, Dorn told the news service.
Well, how do they decide where they're going to send these investigators? Do they just like randomly pick
Right. I would
clinics and,
imagine like people should be, I don't think that's so weird for them to randomly be like, hey guys, gotta go on this undercover mission. Just gotta pretend to have
why is this
PTSD. Like, what? Why are we wasting time on this?
Trick this doctor into giving me.
It's such a waste of time, though. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
They want to see how thorough they are on checking.
Oh yeah, 69-year-old like
the claims of their patients. Whatever, it was dumb. They dismissed
Bro,
it.
It's all nonsense. The thing is here we like to
make
everything an obstacle fucking course. Instead of because
Florida doesn't want it.
Aquí lo que cuenta es el
it's
cash.
because Florida doesn't want cannabis and the voters voted for it and they
Florida
have no
wants
choice.
money.
They're just trying to make it like hard.
But that's everywhere. Everything is a bunch of fucking obstacle courses instead of just like, why?
At least it's not like South Dakota where they took it away and now they're still fighting over there.
Oh my God. Good luck out there. I don't want to touch that. Hey man, thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate your ears.
It to the end of the show. We should have a little song.
Yeah, we should have a little dance party time. Hey, you know what? Thank you to our sponsors.
There's lounge music.
I
don't know. Uncle Jesse.
I don't know how to get catch a groove to this. How to dance to this.
Thank you, Chiba Hut and Liberty Health Science, our sciences, our sponsors.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And a very special thank you to our patrons.
The OGs of the OGs.
And especially in the rotation and OG patrons Yanni,
Destiny,
Lauren,
Jesse,
Christy,
Denise,
Meredith,
Peaches,
and Natalie,
Angelina,
Jenny,
Catherine,
Jay,
Chrissy,
Guillermo,
Diane,
and Gabby. Oh,
Hey,
I'm
you
pretty lit.
too.
That's
Yeah,
28%.
I'm pretty lit too. Like, no, but in a good way. This Sunset Sherbet has me with the good vibes. You know, with the lounge tunes. With Uncle Jesse's lounge tunes. Hey, listen, you too can be a patron. You could be on our Discord. Hey, if you want to, if you want to get slim, thick this fucking 2023 and you need some motivation from some pot smoking moms, come be a patron. Join our Discord. We're talking about a lot of TV shows and shit at this moment right now, actually. So come and join us on the Patreon. We got early access to episodes, additional content.
Sesh with Me voice channel.
Oh my God. And
We had a little last sesh of the year
Oh,
on
yeah.
the New Year's Eve. Randomly. It was fun.
pop in, subscribe, rate, review, and share our content. You guys, we love you.
Bye.
That's movingmoms.com.
See you in February.